Odofo yemo bibia jo emo bibia kwaba ediba African History and Heritage TV so. Eye mosomfo historian Koju Agyeman ena sabre magye adwai na megye adwa se dia na munim se asemam de ba no asema emu ede madikane abokase se dano subini nkuru eben techiman wanchi ntokwasema ewo ho ebi adi more than 100 years emfeha still wanchi ntokwasem ewo ho nti meye research na ne mehunu no edi abeto abonten ama tiefo ne ahwefo nyina apati na se yete niema biase a ebe man tokwa eni mente me ho ase no afiri ho enti na no metu fa eko Ofuman mainum ekoye nhwehwemu nansa na mede nhwehwemu no ebeto dwa no ebeda obo ade ase se ode enada yi ache yen saa so na ye besre nshira ediama African History and Heritage TV ahwefo ne atiefo nyina sebre bia ye de content to mu a mo hwe na mo subscribe na mo share ma afoforo nso enya bi ehwe obo ade nshira mo bebre na day presentation am de ba no efa Ofuman eho na wotwe a etwa mu no meye presentation efa Ofuman ho na no mekuwie se Ofuman man no emu ekoche mienu ye Ofuman dampaso ena Ofuman ye abase na Ofuman dampaso foi abakosem kire se omfrifo krom obia ebentechman nchen ho ene kotena Ofuman abasefo asase so anase bekrom na mredu druye no na ohoho na obae no opekru na age enti ne santi ekoye amanso kese ebeto Ofuman dampaso ne Ofuman abase a wonum ene ya dehye ewokro no no anase abasefo abeye asase wura asem no eko na techman hina himfie mayedi edi boa Ofuman dampasofo Cycle Committee of Privileges 1935 and also dampasofo edi4 asem no Cycle Sante Hine Divisional Court and also dampaso d4 and asem no Cycle Chief Commissioner District Commissioner na owo kwase ne court and also dampaso edi4 na chese dampaso edi4 mprenai na efodie na chino na aka edin kane no edin bi beto Ofuman kuro no mu chemienu efa baabi na yefre na Ofuman number 1 bene beye abasefo no ena dampasofo no yefre omo Ofuman number 2 na nle presentation no anane kasebo no ye behwe ne ye ya Ofuman number 1 ne number 2 ebaare na yebesana ahwe se fodie no a Ofuman dampaso a yekofre ne Ofuman number 2 no odiye no affected ni din na identity as Ofuman number 2 no ana anaasɛ still or maintaining Ofuman number 2. Ɛno na ɛnɛ yɛbɛhwɛ as our 3rd episode. Nti ɔdɔfoɔ ba bia wo bia no siesie ho na tie kasɛe a yɛde ba yi. Na medical a kenkan kasɛebɔ no ɛwɔ poto kasɛe my friend English. Na makyerɛ soɛ ɛde akɔ akan anaasɛ twi kasɛe. Na etrensɛm no yɛso the dual name question. The dual name question. Ɛno kyerɛ sɛ edini mmienu no ɛho asɛm. Na yɛntie. Also in 1935, the Committee of Privileges was set up by the British colonial government. The committee was charged to determine the constitutional relationship amongst those in the Crown Colony of Ashanti. This was to avoid constitutional conflict that would arise when the Ashanti Confederacy was restored. The committee reverted Ofuman Abasi to its pre-colonial server status. Consequently, it was compelled to serve the Asantehene through the Dadiesuabahene. On the other hand, Ofuman Dampaso also served the Asantehene through the Adumhene. Henceforth, Abasi and Dampaso were christened Ofuman number 1 and Ofuman number 2, respectively. The two settlements mentioned supra also had different chiefs who bore the titles as Ofuman number 1 Hene and Ofuman number 2 Hene. But Ofuman number 1, number 2's loss of the land suit to Ofuman number 1 meant a corresponding loss of his identity as Ofuman number 2. Consequently, it was relabeled Dampaso. The Dampaso Hene could no longer hold himself as a chief of Ofuman number 2. In 1954, Chief Kwame Nkrumah of Dampaso prayed the Kumasi State Council, chaired by the Asantehene, to re-christen Dampaso as Ofuman number 2. But the State Council, which sat on Monday, September 27, 1954, resolved that the council would not accept Chief Kwame Nkrumah's proposition to call Dampaso Ofuman number 2. Because he, Chief Nkrumah, had no customary and legal mandate to rename his quarters Ofuman number 2. Members of the council also noted that Chief Kwame Nkrumah and his subjects were strangers who lived on Ofuman land as subjects of the Adumhene. Chief Nkrumah, they said, could not maintain his position as a wing chief of the Adumhene and at the same time arrogate to himself the title of Ofuman No2 hene. The councillors contended that they knew Chief Kwasidua as the sole chief and owner of Ofuman village and its surrounding lands. According to the councillors, Chief Kwame Nkrumah's petition was not in tandem with the customs of Asante, and so it was dismissed. Orofo asɛm a mekenkan yi ne tɔfabom enam de bai. Or say the dual name question. Edi mmienu no ho asɛm. In 1935, the Committee of Privileges was set up by the British colonial government. The committee was charged to determine the constitutional relationship amongst those in the Crown Colony of Ashanti. This was to avoid constitutional conflict that would arise when the Ashanti Confederacy was restored. Also in 1935, Britain for Epeja Committee Bia Nefrene Committee of Privileges EDC ho. Na saa Committee of Inquiry no na nasɛdeɛ ne sɛ ahemfo no Britain for no edi binum kɔhyehyɛ bi ase a saa bra broni ma enye ho na na besom konti edi ntokwa ne mentum ho ase bai. Enti we settled the Committee of Privileges say a committee of or commission of inquiry. Obi anko kanasem na onka babia na osomko asana broni eba. Na bedisan hyehyɛ no eba se beyo na yikopeja Asante Confederacy no esi hɔ a ahensem ne asasesem ebi ensibio. The committee reverted Ofuman Abasi to its pre-colonial server status. Consequently, it was compelled to serve the Asante through the Dadbieso Abahene. On the other hand, Ofuman Dampaso also served the Asante through the Dumhene. Henceforth, Abasi and Dampaso were christened Ofuman No1 and Ofuman No2 respectively. The two settlements mentioned supra also had different chiefs who bore the titles as Ofuman No1 Hene and Ofuman No2 Hene. Now, Committee of Privileges no etransiwie no. Enna beye se Dampaso kane na broni maaye no. Na Dampaso esom Asante Hene. Na ni fiewura ene adum hene. Saa so na Ofuman Abasi ono so na osom Asante Hene. Na ni fiewura ne adum hene. Na chese osom Asante Hene through the adum hene. The Committee of Privileges no kwa setranwie. Ena be kan se Abasi kosom Asante na ufiewura dada no a oye dadie so abahene no kodi nachi. Na Dampaso nso kosom Asante na ni fiewura dada no a na oye adum hene no a na odi ni nyunum no onko som Sante Hene through ni fiewura. ne koba asa no na chese kuro no emu ache enti saa nhyehyɛ no eba no after the proceedings of the committee of privileges no ema yeto yeche Ofuman kuro no mienu efa ba bi ye be friend Ofuman number 1 a na be no be ye abasefo yi adehye na be kuro no no ena yesa nkonya Ofuman number 2 na yenhwe na yesi ye also but Ofuman's number 2's lost of the land suit to Ofuman number 1 meant a corresponding loss of his identity as Ofuman number 2. Consequently, it was relabeled Dampaso. Dampaso Hine could no longer hold himself as the chief of Ofuman number 2. Now, yɛtwa mu yɛ no Ofuman number 1, Ofuman number 2 here. Ena amansun asase mansun ekosore. Etwen asase mansun no from 1933 up to 1936, 1937 up to 1938. Enti Ofuman abasi edi bem no. Se Ofuman abasi edi bem dia. Sense asini nyina eye ne dia. Ene na Ofuman number 2 hene ontumi entena Ofuman mfa ne nsansi ne bose oyo Ofuman number 2 hene efise ohene bintimi nkotena ohemfoforo asase so enkodi hene ewo ho eno nti no court no esan kan se Ofuman number 2 no yenyimfiri ho na yemfre kru no Ofuman eti Ofuman number 2 no ne number 1 no ebi free ho Ofuman number 2 din dada no Dampaso no osanko fai efodie na chi no ena abase no esan fa Ofuman dini no jese adi bemsa asase ne ye ne dia ene na ye friend Ofuman simple Ofuman, not Ofuman number 1, Ofuman number 2. If you say Ofuman number 2 no ye yefri or court na yefri. Now in 1954, Chief Kwame Nkrumah of Dampaso prayed the Kumasi State Council, chaired by the Asante Hene, to re-christen Dampaso as Ofuman number 2. But the State Council, which sat on Monday, September 27, 1954, resolved that the State Council would not accept Chief Kwame Nkrumah's proposition because he, Chief Nkrumah, had no customary and legal mandate to rename his quarters Ofuman number 2. Now, ne next of abom said 1954 and Ofuman number 2 ne court no yi sa etwa sa dinum no na yebefre Ofuman number 2 Dampaso no esa de adisrede ekos Kumasi State Council adim 1954 say Sante hene modena na onye den Oma benche kronum te se ne yebeche ne first no na onu ni hene se Ofuman number 2 hene na abase fo nso ni be hene as Ofuman number 1 na odeko ye no council no Kumasi State Council na otumfo tie dwem no e kan se se Kwame Nkrumah o ye dampaso hene na wo ji asase no wantumi anye wadi fo sa asase nye wo de a na amamre ne amane kwanso no asase a enye wo de untimi nkoto ne din se Ofuman number 2 efise ufrifo krombae no na abase fo achechiri bi kura nabato ne Ofuman entitin tontan Ofuman number 2 enye yi enti enye to aso. Members of the council noted that Chief Kwame Nkrumah and his subjects were strangers who lived on Ofuman's land as subjects of the Dumhene. Chief Kwame Nkrumah, they said, could not maintain his position as a wing chief of the Dumhene and at the same time arrogate to himself the title of Ofuman number 2 hene. Now, let of above say Kumasi State Council no etrans no. Ena we kan say abase moye adum hene na dehye the subjects nemo adum no so ye kuro bi a eda baabi. Na se momo ya dum hene subjects de a kire se mo ye nhoho ewo Ofuman asase so. Na se mo ye nhoho wo Ofuman asase so a okona so obi a chichire ni kura ekosi sen na opese kuro no ye chemienu na fa no a wo ne wade siete no obeka se hoye number 2 na ne chichire ni kuro no fa number 1 eno de ye ne say yinyi enti Ofuman dampaso hene a oye adum hene ne subject anase ne dehye na kwa no wuntumi enkase oye Ofuman number 2 hene. The council contended that they knew Chief Kwasidua as the sole chief and owner of Ofuman village and its surrounding lands. According to the councillors, Chief Kwame Nkrumah's petition was not in tandem with the customs of Asante, and so it was dismissed. Other for one to above ne say council no trans na we council nyame animdi se ye ka se ye beji atum ha se wo Ofuman dampaso ye mfre babia ono wade chie ti Ofuman no se Ofuman number 2 a enyeyi. If you say ye court to obua ne mprenan amwo di forces as no nye dampaso hene odia enti ye de ne court aka na yebetie court so amayate ase se Kwasidua ene ne nkoa ne ye hene ewo Ofuman na saa na court amayate ase de a ene na Chief Kwame Nkrumah oye dampaso hene no what is ready a odebetu Kumasi State Council no nim say yenche kuru no na babia one what is yet no ye ma Ofuman number 2 na abase force yentu be Ofuman number 1 no enyeyi. If you say ye koye ne saa na se kire ne se court no a ebu atia dampaso hene Chief Kwame Nkrumah say asase ne nye odie no atembuo no niti besi ase nipa ohene asase nye ne de a eye de nan ye kofre ne se oye Ofuman number 2 hene na Ofuman number 1 hene so tibabi. If you say Ofuman asase no nyina ye de kodan Ofuman abase akunwa na saa nete de obi asase yentimi nkoche mmienu na yemfre asase no fa Ofuman number 1 asase no fa so Ofuman number 2 wo breko a ye nyina yenim se Chief Kosidua ononkoa na ye ohene ewo Ofuman a nsase no nyina eye ne dia Ofuman dampaso de kotu obua ne mpre nan miate ho asese ukotena obi asase so ukotena hwie kwa mi asase so ukotena Ofuman fo asase so na obi a wakotena bi asase so no na wodo didi no wa mo ba bi setena na do didi no wontumi nkase ni kura ya chechire no ye kochim sanse one wa de hie te fa ba bi na ono so na de hie te fa ba bi enti ye ne sa enyeyi enti Chief Kwame Ankoma ono na disredi a ode koye se Ofuman kru no yenche mienu na ono a oye dampaso hene no yemfre ne Ofuman number 2 hene na abase nso nye Ofuman number 1 hene no anya juma Kumasi State Council no anye antum and therefore anya juma order for subscribe na share na nkomoboyi de ye pa subscribe share na atiefo nso enya bi entie afoforo enya bi ntie na kaseboy eyo manchichire ne kasebo enti yere kasebo no besia na ochire nyame ya adoma ye the final episode ewo Ofuman nsasesem ho Ofuman ahensem ho Ofuman ahensem a etim trigger ntokwa no anase a trigger ntokwa since 1925 which is 100 years old, you know. Yet in the final or the 4th episode ebebremu na ye the commentary no abawiye orofo subscribe na share na ma afoforo NTV mosomfo historian Kodu Ajiman medamase memamu emoniti adehye